Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, May 2023. Aries, the first important event is the eclipse that will be happening in Scorpio, your 8th house. This is lunar eclipse, and it's one of the last ones that are happening in your 8th house. And it's a little bit of a rough eclipse. Why is that? Because the sign it's happening in Scorpio is a bit of a ruthless sign, and it's square by Uranus. Sorry, not square, but opposite by Uranus. It's activated. Uranus is with the sun opposite the moon where the eclipse is happening, and Uranus has quite of a disruptive energy, and it's happening in the 8th house for you again, which is a bit of a ruthless house. How can we combine this? 8th house is the house of excretion, so is Scorpio the sign of excretion, of releasing something. It's also the house of crisis, so there can be some kind of a shakeup that happens in your life, not exactly on the 5th or 6th when the eclipse is, but within 2-3 months of this development, or even a month before, that can urge you, or that can trigger you on a path of releasing something. It's a moksha sounding moksha house. Scorpio is a sign of releasing, letting go. Ultimately, it's about liberating yourself, freeing yourself from something that has enslaved you, that has controlled you. And Uranus allows you to cut the cords with this thing. Uranus is like, chop, and I'm done with it. No more of it. No looking back. Uranus can also bring some sudden illumination into the formula, into the event, that you're like, why did I allow myself to be taken advantage of for so many years, or to be controlled by something, or to have mental obsession over something? This is the 8th house, Scorpio energy, mental obsession, focus. It might be a person, it might be a substance, it might be any kind of, how you eat as well. If you're compulsively eating, anything that has an element of compulsion or an element of abuse or control over you, that you do yourself or that someone else does to you, there can be a sudden illumination about it, a sudden cutting cords with such circumstances or situation, excreting them from your life, eliminating them ruthlessly, and seeing clearly, like, wow, maybe you tried to do it over and over. Intellectually, you understood it. It made sense that you should let go of that thing, or that something toxic in your life that is holding you back, but you haven't been able. And then Uranus is this big awakener, which is part of this eclipse. And because it's also a lunar eclipse, is about something coming to an end, for ending. It can't grow any bigger than that. It can't carry on anymore. It's like it gets over the hill now, and it starts going. It tips the wave, as they say, and start going down. So you might have such a realization with Uranus, which is sudden, that suddenly things click and make sense, and you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm walking out of here, or I'm done with that. Plus, the 8th house carries energy of secrecy, some secret coming to the surface, some secret activity, or something connected, important, with hidden money or taxes, insurances, or inheritances that you're dealing with, that can be important for the next 3 months. I cannot tell you if it's bad or good. In a way, every person, you need to check your personal horoscope to see if it directly affects a personal planet for you. Is it with a conjunction or opposition? This you can do in my personal transit calendar, which I've developed for you for free. Nothing like that exists anywhere in the world. And every 7 days it updates itself for the next 5 to 7 days. You can use it freely, or you can pay for a month or for a year use, which is like $6 per month. So anyway, but yeah, so there is this themes of the 8th house of sudden interruption, sudden ending, sudden crisis as well. And this crisis or interventions to some extent, so that the universe can intervene, or someone else that shakes you off of a situation. And as I said, it might be a little bit ruthless, and it might be a little bit intense, but it's long needed, and you're gonna feel freed. You're gonna feel like you've excreted a ton of waste, a ton of toxicity from your life. You're gonna feel lighter after that. 8th house is the house of the transformation, of the butterfly. After this initial shock that might last a month, or sometimes the eclipse can be a couple, 2-3 months till it's fully settles down, or a few weeks at least. You can feel this, like, oh, I'm reborn. I'm this metamorphosis, like a butterfly. I'm lighter. I've shed off so much weight, so much intensity and mental obsession that is not weighing me down, for example. Another way is it can be just more mundane themes of the 8th house. As I said, it can be something to do with taxes, with insurances, with inheritances that needs your attention, that can, you know, a little bit shake you up. Inheritances can, in extreme cases, can mean like something connected to death, of course, because why would an inheritance come into the theme? But it's rare occasions, but still, just to mention it. 8th house is also the house of conception, life, and birth. It's not only death, it's also conception, birth, pregnancies for some of you. That can be surprising because of Uranus, but anything 8th house can come suddenly, surprisingly, with a bit of crisis, but ultimately liberating for you. And it will require you to give up something as well, because it's with the South Node. So it's very good for giving up anything that is not healthy for you. But sometimes it can require you to give up, because it's in the 8th house. It gives other people's resources or support that comes to you from certain source outside of yourself. It might be emotional, physical, material source of income or support that you might have to give up, or but maybe it's tying you down, that you can fully unfold your full potential. Maybe it's holding you back in some way, so you might have to give it up. One source of security, one source of reliance that come to you from outside, something that you relied on just to empower you personally more. So you have to be willing to give up something. Maybe you relied on alimony or support from someone, or from government, or from certain clients that might suddenly end, or you have to give up, but only to make space for something bigger. All right, another way, so that's pretty much what the eclipse can do for some of you. It's not going to be very personal unless a planet is directly affected. Say if you have something in Taurus, many Aries can have, and it's exactly opposite. But again, or something in Scorpio, you might have the moon there, or Ascendant, or, you know, not Venus for sure, but you might have something there, again, only through personal transit calendar. No one else in the world will have the same transits like you, unless you have a twin born at the same place at the same time like you. So check this out if you're interested way more in depth. The next big event is that Mercury first, on the 14th, I think it was, yes, on the 14th, turns direct. It's been retrograde in Taurus, in your 2nd house. So if you had to put order into your finances, if there were some surprises there with resources, with anything connected to assets, resources, anything about pricing, anything connected about budgeting, it has to sort itself out by the middle of the month. It starts turning direct, so things start going according to plan. But till then, you might still have, till the middle of the month, some adjustments, some changes to do, some corrections, you know, with possessions, with self-worth, with pricing yourself, with also connected. You have to be careful a bit about your throat till the middle of the month, because it's the 2nd house, your voice, throat. And some important conversations with family might be happening, because 2nd house is the house of family. Those closest to you that support you, some important arrangements, agreements, negotiations of some sorts, maybe even some kind of delays there. But then Mercury turns direct, and any kind of complications that you had, either with money being held back or delayed, or blocked in some way, or with family situations, sorts itself out and starts moving forward. And right after that, on the 16th, Jupiter is entering your 2nd house. Actually, Jupiter is going to leave Aries, where it's been blessing you since May 2022. So do take a little bit of a stock, Aries. Did some awarenesses, because Jupiter will not be back for 12 years. You seeded some seeds till the 15th of May, 16th. Some seeds, it might have been an idea, it might have been an opportunity, material, physical, doesn't matter. Or just like an idea, or just like something new being born in your life, some new inspiration, some new ideal. Jupiter rules inspirations, ideal, something grander, bigger than yourself. Some new lifestyle, something new might have happened, some blessings and opportunity. Reflect on those, because they're not finished. You have 11 years to unfold those things. Maybe you thought, oh, Jupiter passed through my sign, nothing happened, I just put on weight like I did. But actually, you would reflect back and you would realize that some ideas came to you, some opportunities. And Jupiter will have now 11 years while it's transiting the rest of the signs for you to unfold those. And with Jupiter moving into your second house from the middle of May till next May 2024, means that now those new ideas or opportunities that came to you while Jupiter was in your first house, so new beginnings in life, you have opportunity to consolidate them. The second house is about to consolidate, to make more real, more tangible, more material. And as I said, you will have 11 years more, so don't worry. It's not like Jupiter passes your sign and your whole life turns around and everything improves. It's the seeds that were just planted now as opportunities, but you'll be seeing the results for 11 years. Just like I started my business Astrolada when Jupiter was in my sign exactly over my sun, but I only started seeing the results in the next 11 years. So just think about what in the last 1 year changed for you mentally, psychologically, emotionally, what thoughts and ideas came. But now you have an opportunity starting from the middle of May to make it more tangible, more real. Second house is to manifest, to make more material, maybe to find the resources for it. Second house is to, find the resources. Maybe if Jupiter was transiting your first house and you started doing art or inspiration of some sort as a new beginning in your life, now maybe you'd learn a lot more knowledge, because Jupiter is to learn knowledge about what materials to use, how to combine colors. Or if it was a new business you started with Jupiter in your first house, or new idea that came to you, maybe now you can find the right resources, the right materials, and so on. And second house is also about support. So you can receive over the next 1 year more support by the universe in tangible ways, or as psychological support from others as well, in those directions of new beginnings. In the next 12 months, for some of you, you will see expansion of your income. Some of you'll see that you make double what you used to make or more somehow. Second house is very tangible, practical. Jupiter is making trine to your 10th house of career, 6th house of employment, and health habits. Second house is connected to money and savings. So you can have an opportunity to create more material abundance in your life, to buy more stuff if you want, to consume more. Jupiter in the second house can increase consumerism. I don't know, all the things you've always wanted to have, you might gain them, or something important you've always wanted to have, you might find the money for it in the next 12 months. But also Jupiter can renew your styles, what you prefer. Second house is very Taurian, it's Taurus house. Your taste in food can change and expand. It's a possibility to put on weight as well with Jupiter in the second house. Also in the first house, while it was transiting through your sign, it was a possibility. Some of you noticed it. Also to increase energy, but in the second house it can increase appetite, can increase the scope of foods you allow to. You might become more adventurous with foods, what you put in your body. But Jupiter is a sattvic planet, which is high vibrational planet of knowledge, of getting the right information, seeing things from the right higher perspective, mental perspective. So it can be good if you're having some problem with eating, for example. You can become more conscious about how you eat, or what substances you put in your body. Do you smoke? Do you drink alcohol? What other substances you put? You can become more conscious, do it more with awareness. And once you do something with more awareness, you can have, it doesn't control you as much, so that's another way it can play out. You can learn a lot more about anything to do with what you put in your body, with nutrition, with eating, with foods, with cooking. Some might do culinary school or something like that, or just cook a lot more. And Jupiter makes it more joyous. Any second house activity. Second house is also to do with art, music. You can definitely expand your music library or your collection of art during that time. You can find very precious pieces as well. While Jupiter can expand your income, will definitely expand your expenses as well. It's just, that's how it works with Jupiter. More comes in, more goes out. But this is a great flow, because if the flow is interrupted, stuck, you're not letting go of anything, but there's no space for anything new to come. So now you'll be more open-minded to, okay, let go of certain things, but new will come in, like materially, and you can refresh your style of music, style of dressing up, style of what you consider beautiful art. You can expand your knowledge about such things. You expand your collections of anything you collect as well. And also your self-worth can grow, because you can, for example, take courses or think about or have illuminating realizations about your worth. And of course your expenses can grow, but so can what self-worth you put on yourself. And you can raise your prices, or your salary can raise because of that. But definitely Jupiter can make you feel way more secure with yourself, how you can create financial stability, security. I recently had Jupiter transiting through my second house, and I've always worried all my life, because of growing up in relative poverty, let's say, and being living for many years on the verge of poverty as an immigrant, working like menial jobs, cleaning and waitering and so on, and being homeless. So I had a big trauma, even though for years now I've been making good, sustaining my family and everything. And one last time now Jupiter transited my second house from Ascendant, it was a big realization for me psychologically. And I wish it for you as well, that you're going to have it through the second house. Now it's going to be in the second house through my son, so this will increase. That I feel secure with myself, even if, I lose everything that I've saved. Whatever happens, I'm secure with my ability to create material success. So that's very, very comforting as well. So sometimes it's not that you make a lot of money when Jupiter is in the second house. Sometimes it's this confidence that you get that no matter what, you're a resourceful person and you're gonna do well. So it removes the fear of insecurity, financial, material. So I'm wishing all this for you. And of course, I think there will be a significant increase for many of your new ideas how to make money, new sources that come that will enrich you for a long time after that, for many years. That's when I first started making money from astrology, when Jupiter was in my second house in Taurus from the Sun 12 years ago. That was the first time money started coming from it. So I wish the same for you, but definitely you'll see something big as an increase, because Jupiter will be with Rahu here over the next 12, I'd say by the start of the summer, because Jupiter and Rahu will be together in May, June, you'd feel it. So thank you so much, Aries, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. By the way, towards the end of the month, Mars will enter, when is this? Mars in Leo towards the 20th. Mars will enter Leo, which is great, because Mars in Cancer has been a bit rough for us for a month and a half. April until the middle of May, till the 20th of May, because Mars squares us, so it disrupts a little bit Aries, makes it too emotional, makes it a bit too, the sense of insatiability stronger, emotional insatiability and impulsivity as well. But when Mars enters Leo, where it feels great, and we're Mars ruled, we're Aries, when it enters Leo, and it will stay there from the 20th of May and the whole June, definitely you'd feel like more clear-headed, because Mars is in a fire sign, more like yourself. You're gonna feel invigorated, and your actions that you undertake will not be met with resistance. Things will flow, things will happen fast, things will happen easily, more easily. Fifth house is also the house of life force, one of the life force houses. You might have more life force. It can be great for sports, for working out, for having more fun, for gaming, playing. The fifth house is definitely the house of childlike spontaneity, enjoyment, joy. You put more energy into entertainment after the 20th to have fun things together. It can be even more sexual time. Mars in the fifth house of romance and dating. More sparks in the air, having more fun. So think of some holidays towards the end of May and most of June as well. Some adventures or something creative that you do that is fun, putting more energy into your fun activities, creativity, and so on.